grooming, where we're having to bath these guys. It makes it much easier if you put some peanut butter. Well, with her you can't put peanut butter, but you could put the low-calorie canned food. You could smear that on the wall, and it would kind of give her something to do. You kind of same idea, so that you guys can bath her, getting her in. Thanks, Brownie. Back off. Yes, good boy. So that you can get her in the tub. You're just going to kind of do the same idea that we did with her when we were getting her used to the idea of being in the potty area that you guys are training her for. Lots of treats.
Yeah, I just, the thing is that with a little sink, we have, how do you call that, as a hose pump?
Like a spray.
Yeah.
Hose.
Yeah, but in the tub we don't have that.
Well, you guys are going to have to make a choice on whether to what you can do is pick her up and put her in the tub and reinforce her for being there. Lots of treats in the sink or in the tub, whichever you choose. I tend to use the sink only once a dog is acclimated to the tub. Brownie, that does not work.
Oh.
That way they can kind of, get the idea that, it's the same premise, and it makes it much, much easier for them.
Okay. Yeah, the other thing that we don't have for the tub, that's why I was thinking about the sink, because we don't have something to tie her in the tub, and we're concerned that she's going to run around everywhere in
Well,
the tub. But
the idea is to get her used to it first. And even then, I don't usually tie them in the tub. What I'll do is I'll take a leash. You can actually get suction cups, like the mirror suction cups, and put them on the wall of your tub or on your tile, and it works really, really well. And then attach them to that, and that's all it takes. They actually make grooming attachments for you to suction cup your dog into the tub.
who makes them?
You can get them on Chewy.com. You can get them at feeders. It's just like a little suction cup that attaches to the wall, and you can put your dog in the tub and groom them that way.
Okay, and then with a leash, you said?
Yep.
Okay, good. Then we'll do that. Then the other question that I had is as regards shampoo. Tom bought the tea tree from Peter, but we also saw that there's the Well and Good and the Air Bath and the Tropic Clean and the Davis Degrees shampoo. Which one do you recommend?
Tropiclean is my favorite if I have to go with grooming shampoos at like feeders. I tend to get a conditioning shampoo. Reason being, I don't want to have to fight mats, and I get a detangling rinse and spray. Okay, if you're going to be grooming your little dog during this, I want you guys to be able to run a comb through them. I want you guys to be able to have your dog comfortable while this is all going on. I grabbed Brownie. Hey, back up. Hey, Brownie, back up. No. Hey, little man, back up. Hey, back up.
Is there anything you wanted to show us?
Yes.
That I should turn the video back on?
Yeah, I'm going to turn that on. Let me send you this link real quick. Okay, mat breakers, because you guys are going to need to know about these. I do not want you guys getting the ones that look like this. Okay? Not this style. Okay?
It's up out of shot.
Yeah, I'm not this style. Not the ones that have the little claws on them. Okay? I don't want you to get that style of mat breaker, because if you get this style of mat breaker, you're going to hurt your dog. Okay? These are for professional groomers only. This style, same thing. Don't get these. okay? These are for short hair. Ideally, they're sharp, razor sharp. Down here, there's little razors. On this one too. If you don't know what you're doing, you can hurt your dog with these, okay?
And the slicker brush? The slicker brush?
Yes, slicker brush is fine.
Okay.
The mat breaker style I want you guys to look at, okay, is this. Okay? I don't know if you can see that real well. This has a razor right here, okay? All it does is the razor, he's trying to record this because I got another client that wants to see this. Huh? Do what?
The brand, or where do you get that one?
This is a Safari.
Safari.
It's a Safari. It just has a little razor in here, and this blade in here is changeable. I either recommend getting one like this, or just a sharp pair of hair cutting scissors. This style, little bitty tiny. These have blunted ends, okay? So I'm not going to cut my dog. That way I'm going to make it so that if I need to, if there's any mats, I'm just going to kind of lay it against the dog's skin, and then I'm just going to slide it down, and that's it. And then I'm just going to snip, okay?
So can you do it again? I couldn't see.
All I'm going to do is I'm going to, if I have a pair of scissors, because this is what most people are going to have access to, I'll make sure the little hook, okay, is on this side, so that my fingers rest there. So that way I have something to sit between me and the dog, okay? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to offer a treat, and I'm just going to push it down into the hair and then run it through, kind of like combing with this. If I get caught in the hair at all, I'm just going to snip, okay? If it won't close, I'm going to back out and I'm going to do it again. Shorter bites, smaller bites, okay, with the scissors. All I'm doing is just kind of breaking through the mat, okay?
And with the slicker brush, you can't break through the mat?
You cannot break through mats with slicker brushes, okay? All you're going to do is tangle it more. With a slicker brush, okay, you can start at the end of your dog's hair and work your way up. Hey, okay, Brownie. You can start at the end of your dog's hair and work your way up, okay? And that's all we're doing, is working our way up. But I get up in here, and all I'm getting is the top layers, okay? That's not getting everything, all right? I need to be able to get into the bottom layers. There. This is what's called a poodle comb, okay?
We have this one. Is this one okay or too small?
I can't, hold on, let me take this off of here. That'll work. That will work. The idea is to be able to take the big blades first, okay? I want to take the bigger end first through their hair. If I get caught, I'm not jerking it through, okay? I'm just pulling it away, giving my dog a treat as I'm pulling it away, because ideally, when I'm going to introduce this is going to be a little scary to some dogs. I'm going to be giving treats and just lightly combing, and if I feel any resistance, I'm just going to pull back and stop. He's been groomed recently, so it's not, that big of a deal for him, but all I'm doing is, just like us, I'm taking the wider end first, and I'm combing it through, okay?
But Jodi, so is this thing also a method we can use to take away the mat?
No, that's going to kind of help you find your mats, okay? This is going to, just like us when we comb our hair, and if we use a really wide tooth comb when we comb our hair, we're going to be able to find those mats and then come in and then kind of separate them with our hands and put some conditioner on them and pull them apart so that way we don't pull our hair. Same idea. We don't want to pull their hair. So we want to make it much easier on them and make them much more comfortable, okay?
Okay.
And when you're working on them, if I find any, once I can get through with the wide tooth end, okay, then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go to the narrow side that has the closer together bristles, okay? And then I'm just going to kind of go through it then, and then that's going to tell me I've got all my mats out. If I'm not getting any resistance here, I've not got mats, okay? And I I shouldn't get any resistance. And see here, I got a little bit of resistance, okay, on this side of his ear. I got a little bit of resistance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, I'm going to take my hands, and I'm going to run my fingers through, and I'm going to see where the tangle is, okay? And this one's tiny, 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 down at the base of his fur. I'm going to take my slicker brush, because I've already brushed it all the way down, okay? This is where you can use your slicker on mats, okay? I'm going to take my slicker brush, and I'm going to brush the opposite direction from me, okay? And I'm going to start at the very bottom of the hair and work my way in. When I get to the point where it doesn't want to go through the hair, okay, all I'm going to do is going to go back, okay, because that just probably loosened that mat. That's all it took. Because if I pull on it with the slicker brush without having to go through and separated it, then all I'm going to do is tighten that. Because these guys have hair. They don't have regular fur. They have hair. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back with the wider one. And you notice it's not getting stuck. He thinks I have food in my hands, so he's like, give me food. But, and now look, I can go right through, okay? I'm able to go right through, and it doesn't even affect. And see, it pulled out that little bitty mat when I had went with the slicker brush, and there it is. That's all it did is it pulled out that little bit of hair when I did it that way. And you notice he didn't get uncomfortable. He didn't fight me. He was like, oh, okay, well, not a big deal. Because all I did is I kept taking down the amount of hair I was putting through the brush each time. See, before I started this, I did one of the grooming knife. That's what this is. This is a grooming knife. It's a mat knife. Because he had one in his hair. He had a big old mat right here because he likes to roll. You give him an opportunity, he will roll in the grass and he'll roll in the dirt. So all I did was I took it like this and I laid down and I just combed it. Because, see, this edge right here is rounded on this. And all I did is laid it against the skin, hooked it in, and then I just went right up underneath of it. And because this is sharp, this is a razor, it just cut right through the middle of that mat. Okay? So as I took the slower graduations down, it took it apart a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then that way it didn't jerk it out, it didn't rip it out, it didn't make him uncomfortable. He was good. He was like, oh, okay, well, I don't care. And then when I went and took my slicker brush, if you look at your slicker brushes, the needles on it are really fine. The pins are very, very tiny and they're very close together, okay? And all that does is that kind of pulls it apart. And if you notice when I brush with a slicker brush, I do short movements. And he's like, what are you doing? Well, I don't want my ear brushed because he's already been groomed. So he's like, why? But all I'm doing is short movements. And if you notice, even with what I'm doing with him, I'm having to still give him treats as I'm going on because I want him to view this as fun. And I want him to view this as scary because this is one of those, oh no, we don't want him to make a negative association, okay? And I know with her, you're going to have to be very, very careful and move very slowly. Touch tolerance is one of those things. When you guys introduce something to a dog, if this is the first time ever grooming your dog, like full-on grooming, okay, you're going to bring out your tools individually, and you're going to show it to him. And then you're going to click, and you're going to treat. Show it to him. He's like, but I want the food in your hand. You know how this works, buddy.
For the demo.
Well, he's like, I want that food in your hand. I don't care about that. I already know what the grooming tools are. You're going to show them out. Nope. Look, there's nothing in my hand, dude. Here. Touch. Nope. Touch. If they don't want to pay attention to it, yes. Any look towards it, click and treat. Okay? That way it makes it much easier for it to be a... He's like, but food. And I've got to give him the choice. Here. Touch it. Anytime he sticks his little nose towards it. I'm going to change his direction so that way you guys can see a little bit better because... Come here. Come here. You see? Good boy. So all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring out the toy, or that, and I'm gonna click and treat for any touches, okay? See, he's played this game quite a bit, so to him, this is the greatest thing ever. And he gets treats just for, yes, any touches of the brushes or the tools, okay?
So the slicker brush, what brand? Does it have to be a special brand?
It doesn't have to be a special brand on a slicker brush. I do not recommend you getting the ones that have the stiff back with no cushion. This one has a cushion in it, and it gives it some bounce. I don't want you to get the ones with the balls on the tips, because ideally you should not be digging this down into your dog's fur, okay? This is for fine work after you've already detangled. This is for top coat work. Having a dog with a little bit longer fur, you need to be using one of these, okay? This is to get down. If you have a lot of dog to brush, you know, obviously I'm going to recommend something like this. This is a pen brush. It makes it much easier for you to get down into the coat, and it works. If you guys are brave enough to do clipping, which you might end up having to work towards with her, considering, you know, we don't know how long this is going to go on.
Yeah, we already have the clippers. We have to do it.
Okay. The clipper thing, before you ever get to the point that you're going to clip your dog, okay? Can you plug that in, please? Before you ever get to the point where you're going to clip your dog, you're going to bring this out, and you're going to show it to your dog, okay? All you're going to do is you're going to put it on the ground, and you can put a little treat around it, okay? That's it. You're just going to make it so that your dog goes, I don't know what this thing is, but food is happening near it, okay? Same idea as when you're acclimating to anything else new, okay? First couple of days, all you're going to do, there is a app called Soundproof Puppy Training. I want you to get on that, and I want you to hit the clicker sound, okay? On there. It says clippers. You're just going to, or you can turn on your clippers and feed. While your clippers are on, all you're going to do, just a couple of minutes, okay? You're going to get them used to the idea that this is going to happen.
Okay.
I'm not even getting near them. And here's the other thing. Before you even get to the point where you can clip your dog, I want you to have a can of this.
Okay, what's that?
Clipper Cool Care. Indus Clip Cool Care. What this is, every 2 to 3 minutes when I'm working on a dog, I am trying to keep my clippers cool, okay? Most people, if they are going to clip their dog down, they are not using one of these, okay? This is what is called a guide comb, okay? Guide combs are one of those things that help, you know, keep the hair a certain length. Most people aren't going to be doing this, especially if their dog is matted. If your dog is matted at all, I want you to use one of these and a flat one, okay? I don't want you to add in a comb. I don't want you to add anything special. This is a number 10 blade that is on here, okay?
The one we bought came with a number 10 only.
Yeah. Now, you don't want to go higher number, because the higher number of that is on the blade, the closer to the skin it gets, okay? 40 is almost surgical. That's what we use in surgery to shave a dog. But this is going to make sure part of your maintenance on these, okay? I want you to be able to use this every couple of minutes if you've got a 10, because you say you go to use the guide comb. You've combed your dog out head to toe, okay? When you're combing them, you know, you're going to treat them. Anytime there's knots, anytime you feel any knots, you're going to stop. Ideally, if you are just determined you want to keep some length to your dog's coat, I want you to get some comb-in detangler or spray-in detangler. I use a spray called the Stuff. on my dogs. I'll bath them, and then I put the stuff on them, and then I kind of work it in, and then I'll comb.
Okay, so spray detangler called fresh bath.
When do we use this spray detangler?
You use this spray detangler after you bath your dog, right afterwards, okay? Right after you bath your dog, you can use a spray detangler. And the idea is to kind of, while the hair is still wet, to saturate just a little bit. Make sure if you're using the stuff or another type of detangler, it is not concentrated. If it is concentrated, make sure to dilute it, okay? It'll make it much, much easier on you to be able to do it. They do sell diluted bottles, but I'm guessing that considering everything that's going on, the diluted ones are going to probably go fast. The idea here is more to make sure that, when you're combing in your dog's coat, it's not going to pull mats out, okay? And if there is any mats, you're going to use your mat breaker to fix them, okay?
So the mat breaker, so you basically put the razor through the mat, is that what you said?
Yes, you get this right up against the skin, okay? Say my fingers are, there's a mat right here on my fingers, okay? We're going to pretend. I'm going to hook this into the hair, okay, like this, and then I'm just going to pull up. It's just literally hook into the hair and pull up, because the razor right here is so sharp that it just cuts right through it, okay? And I'm not going to, if it doesn't come up when I pull, I'm going to lightly slide back and forth like that and kind of cut. Yeah, I'm going to saw it just a little bit and it'll just cut right through.
And where can we get this thing? Because it's not, I looked in many places, they don't have those. Where did you get it?
This one I buy mine through Chewy.com, or I buy them through Feeders. Feeders may be out of these, but these are great. They're wonderful. This is like my 4th or 5th one of this brand, and this is the one that the little guard piece on the end is rounded, so you don't have to worry about cutting into your dog. And you can change the razor on this one too.
To recap what we have now. So first thing we have to demask, and then first thing comb. Then if we find that comb with a big blade first, with a big thing first, and the narrow one second. Then if we find a mat, we have to use that papaya thing, and then we use the slicker brush. What's the order? Is that the order?
Yep. And everybody always thinks I do it a little extra because I do all of this before I bath a dog. Okay? Because when I bath them, because when I bath them, if I get them wet, all that does is tighten those mats. And I don't want to tighten those mats. Okay? And then after I bath them, I'm going to go over them with the detangler, okay, spray. And I'm going to work it in, same idea. I'm going to run a comb, wide tooth comb, then narrow, and then anything I find, if it's not, at this point it should just slide out with this. It should just slide right out, or with the slicker brush. And then I'm going to dry them. If they're wet, and if my dog will tolerate a blow dryer. If they won't tolerate a blow dryer, I'm going to do the same idea as what I just did with this. I'm going to, turn on the blow dryer, clip, and treat. Turn on the blow dryer, treat. Turn on the blow dryer, treat. Same thing, on, off, until every time they hear that sound, they start going, oh, blow dryer. Not a big deal. Let's not freak out.
Okay.
Then that way they're comfortable. I want them to be very, very comfortable with the whole process, okay? And if I am blow drying, all right, and when I am blow drying and I am clipping, I'm going to watch the temperature of my blade, okay? When I get to the point of clipping, I'm going to watch the temperature of how close I'm getting with the blow dryer. I don't want to blow dry in their face. Don't want to blow their face, okay? A lot of groomers, when we're grooming, we put stuff down, cotton down in their ears to protect them from the sound when we do have to work on their face. Or we put what's called a snood on them. Everybody always laughs at me. It's a giant cloth rag It looks basically you put their ears in it and it goes around their head, and it kind of holds their ears down over the flaps of their ears down over their ear canal, so the sound from the blow dryer doesn't hurt them. Okay?
Like little headphones.
Yeah, it is. It's little headphones using their ears as the sound barrier. It helps, but I always put cotton in them anyways. The big thing on grooming these guys, something you want to keep in mind. Hey, can you sit? I want you to always look down into the ear, okay? Flip your ear back, look down into the ear, because if you flip the ear back and you look down into the ear and you see little knots of hair, and you take your scissors, and you go around them. Some people will take nose hair clippers and do it. Some groomers pluck the hair. I don't pluck hair, I trim. I use baby nose hair scissors that have the little bulbs on the end of them. And that way I don't have to worry about poking them, and I don't have to worry about hurting them. And I'm usually feeding treats as I'm doing this, or I will take wet dog food, smear it on a wall, or peanut butter and smear it on a wall, so that they're sitting there licking it while I'm cleaning their ears. And then I'll take ear powder and I put it in their ears as well.
What?
Ear powder.
Oh, I wanted to ask you something about that. In the research I was doing, they were talking about using the air cleaning solution on the ears. Is that a good thing or not?
Yeah, I use something called epiotic. Epiotic is what I tend to use. So that way it's you can get it from vets, you can get it from Chewy.com. There's Odie-Soothe, there's Otic-Soothe, there's so many different ear cleaners out there. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna put them down in the ears. You're gonna unscrew the top. Okay. If your dog's scared of it, same idea. I'm gonna pretend this is the ear cleaner. I'm gonna show it to him. Let him see it. Yes. Treat over and over again until the dog is excited about seeing it. And then I'm gonna go, oh, well, I understand that you're not comfortable with this, but I'm gonna give you treats, and then I'm gonna dump it in one ear. I'm gonna dump it in the other ear, and then I'm gonna grab their ears and I'm gonna go like this. Okay. I'm gonna massage the base of the ear really, really well on both sides, so that they think it's
You dump it inside the ear?
in the ear canal, down in the ear canal. I only need 3 or 4 drops, okay?
Okay.
The idea is to kind of get all the gunk in the ear out, okay? That way it makes it much, much easier. Ear powder is one of those things that when I'm at the end of my grooming, I'm going to dump ear powder in a dog's ear if a dog's got, a little bit of red in their ears, or if I don't have access to ear wash, I'm going to use that. It makes it much, much easier to keep them drier and keep them happier, because I don't want ear infections going on while this is going on.
Is that inside the canal too?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see if I think I'm out of ear powder, so I can't show you the brand that I use. I'm waiting on my Chewy order. I don't think half of us are waiting on Chewy orders.
So I have another question. While you're bathing the dog, since Viva tends to have those goobers at the green, I heard that the Topi Clean facial scrub is good to take that debris out.
It can be, but ideally the warm washcloth and the Angel Eyes pads works really well. Distilled water, washed right here, warm distilled water. Giving them distilled water to drink, I know that helps a lot. I don't know if you can see Brownie. Come here, Brownie, can you sit? I don't know if you can see Brownie here, but sit. His little face right here, I just clean cut all the way along his eyes, okay? I took the rounded baby scissors and I cut all the way down up underneath his little eyes, and I got all that out of there, and make sure every day I'm basically just cleaning it really, really well, okay? Because some...
It did you cut it with rounded baby scissors?
Yes. I used
Yeah.
a pair of sharp. If you can't get regular grooming scissors that are rounded that have the little bulbs on the end of them, you can use a pair of rounded baby scissors. Okay.
Okay.
Something to keep in mind. Okay. If you have to hold a dog so that you can do their face. Okay. Look how you're going to put your hand like this. This thumb goes up underneath of the ear. This goes underneath here. And then I have him here. And I'm going to put my hand like this up underneath his head. Yes, good boy. So that way I can hold his head and I'm just sliding my fingers up underneath so that it looks like this. And his head is in the middle, okay? He can't back out. He can't back out. And he can't turn his head, okay? And then that way, if I need to get close to his eyes because he wants to wiggle his head, I can. And when I do cut, I'm going to make sure that the tips are pointed up and away from his face, okay? Because I don't want to poke his eyes out. All right?
Yeah. So when you're holding the head like that,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like a two-person job at that point.
It is.
Who's gonna have to do the cooking, right?
It is. For inexperienced people, this is a two-person job. I don't want somebody that does not have a dog that is fully cooperative trying to do this by themselves because you can injure your dog. Okay. If your dog will trust you enough to do it, you notice he doesn't care. He's like, okay, she's fine with it. We've done this a lot. We've played over and over again to where he will put his head in my hand. I can put my hand behind his head. He can set his head there, and I can make that little shape, and he will absolutely come shove his face through. But it's one of those, when it comes to the point, if I need to, I can do it by myself one-handed. I can hold his little head like this, and he will stand there, and I can clip. But for safety's sake right now, because there's so many people that are going to have to do this on their own. You want to play. There's so many people that are going to do this on their own. If you've got somebody that can help you, use it. Because it's more about being able to keep them, participating happily. And I did lessons over and over again. You want to play, don't you? I did lessons over and over again with Brownie. Hey, can you sit? In your head? Yes. See,
Jodi, when you were talking about the sisters, those are in regards to the goobers. That's why you were saying that you took the goobers with the sisters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't try to pull them out.
No.
Okay.
I cut them because that hurts. I don't pull anything off of my dogs that I'm working with at all. When I am asking my dog to do something, because if I want him to, I can head, and then I can put it up there and I can clip. Okay, because I want to put my scissors flat on him and then clip. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want it to be, where he is uncomfortable. I want him completely comfortable. I don't want him to shy away from me. I don't want to have to fight my dog or restrain my dog in order to clean their eyes.
Okay, so I have another question. I was doing also research on sisters, and I found that there are brands like Well and Good or Four Paws, Ear and Eye, and that there's curved ones and straight ones. So, what do you recommend first for the eyes and then for the face?
For the eyes and the face, you want the curved one with the bulb on the end of them.
Curved one with ball.
Because you want that little round ball on the end, so that way it doesn't poke into their eyes. Okay.
Okay.
I want you to get that style. Okay. Now,
Okay.
I don't see you guys needing to do anything fancy. A little, honest to goodness, a little pair of scissors like this should be all you need, okay? I have probably 7 different types of scissors. You don't need 7 different types. You need these. And you need the ones with the rounded, with the curved blade and the ball on the end, okay? Yes, Brownie, don't play, buddy.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so with regards to and Tom, can you go get the clipper that we have, because I want to ask for something about the clipping. Because, so I got what you said until that point, and since I never clipped anybody, I'm kind of worried, and I'm going to be the one that is going to be doing all this grooming. So, what I did in my research learned that I have to go along the direction of the cone
Yes.
first, and but they said that it has to be a 7-blade, and I don't think I have a 7-blade.
You don't need a 7-blade. A 10-blade will work just fine, okay? All you're doing is you're start a dog's up here, okay? Say,
Okay.
give me the alligator. We'll pretend the alligator is the dog, okay? Here's head.
Okay.
He says, let me bite the dog's butt.
Come over here. Come. It's really important for you to pay attention. Come. Don't worry. Come.
So all, as Brownie attack.
The frog is, or whatever is the dog.
Can I have it? Can I have it? Can I have it? Thank you.
An assistant, that's it.
He says, I can help. Okay, so as we're going to, hi baby doll, she's so cute. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my blades. Brownie, leave it. Good boy. I'm going to turn on my blades and I'm going to go this way. Okay, from head to toe. Okay? And then I'm going to go this way. And then I'm going to go down each side. Okay? And then I'm going to worry about doing my feet. Hey, leave it. I'm going to worry about doing feet later. Brownie, leave it. Thank you. He says, but toss that. And then I'm going to go down each leg. I do body first, okay? And then I do neck. Then I do feet. Then I do face, okay?
Okay.
If you want to do, honest to goodness, maintenance-wise, if you get to the point where you do want to do clipping on her face, you guys get her face combed out really, really well, okay?
What is combed out? Oh, okay.
You are going to go for either a, let me see, that is a 3, that is a 4. I usually go for a 1 or on the face. This is a 1/2 inch long on the face along the sides.
What is that?
This is a this is a 1/2 inch guide comb. Okay, this is.
I don't think we have a guide comb, Tom. 1 inch guide comb for face.
1/2 inch. This is a 1/2 inch.
What did you say?
This is a 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch. Okay, 1/2 inch.
Here.
Oh, okay. I don't know where you put the thing, Tom. Okay, all right, okay. So you use a 1/2 inch guide comb,
Yep.
and you put it where?
This is for clipping the face. Okay.
Okay, so it's important to come here now. We don't know where that is. For clipping the face. Okay. She said use a 1/2 inch guide comb for clipping the face. But I think that you told me that the thing that you bought did not have the possibility of putting a guide comb. Do you remember that?
I found it different. No, the thing is that it doesn't have is the combs that can clip onto the blade. It doesn't have that, but you said you don't want that.
Well, that's for the body.
That's for the body. This we need.
Yeah.
You see, but
What brand do you have? What brand clipper do you have?
Okay, what brand clipper do I have? Okay, you know what, Jodi, I want to try to find it and bring it because I want to.
Well, don't worry about finding it. Don't worry about finding it. Each brand clipper has guide comb sets that you can buy for them. Each brand does. You can go online, search in the brand that you have, in the model that you have, and they will tell you what guide combs are compatible. Okay?
Okay.
It makes it much easier for you because you don't have to worry about being able to, to mix and match because they're not going to mix and match. Each brand has their own combs. Because I can't put, this is an Andis set. I can't put Oster guide comb. Huh?
That's the brand.
Yeah, Andis guide combs run about $20. That's at max. They're nice, and they last. Don't get the metal ones. You'll regret it. They get really, really hot. Get the plastic.
Okay.
The Andis guide combs though are really, really nice. Just because of the fact that when you're able to do this, you can pop them. This one, I don't know if you can see this really well, but there's this metal plate right here. There is a spring inside that metal plate. As I pull it down, it kind of bounces off. And all I have to do to put this on is set it on the end of this and literally take my hands, push down, and it's seated.
Can't be easier.
Nope, it's super simple. These are great. This is probably one of the favorites of groomers, just because these are so easy to handle.
Okay.
But all you're going to do is make sure that your guide comb for the face is number 1. That's it. And that gives you a little bit of length. That's it.
Well, it's a number 1, which is a half an inch. Is that right?
Yep.
A number 1 is a half an inch.
A number one what? A number
A
one.
number 1 guide comb is a half an inch.
Yep.
Number one guide comb.
Is a half inch.
An inch what?
That's the
Blade?
no. That's what the length of the hair that it cuts is a half inch.
Oh,
It'll cut you down to a half inch.
just half an inch. Okay, so the one that we have is handy. Okay, it says that it comes the detachable blade clipper, size 10 ultra edge blade, heavy duty power cord, and blade oil.
Yeah.
So
You're good.
I want to know what to do is how close do I put the clipper to her body,
Well, if you're clipping her body, when you do this, all you're doing is you're going flat on her skin. You're going along her skin, okay? This is going to take her down to next to nothing, okay? It's going to be a close.
Down to next to nothing.
It's not going to like bald shave her, but it's going to be really close. Like when guys go in and get their hair cut and then the sides are really short, that's what it is. It's not completely naked, but it's not completely naked. But
Okay, so as regards this, Tom, wait a second, please, because it's tied to here. As regards the guide comb, I'm trying to detangle to get it out of the bag. Sorry. This is not, no, it's not. Okay, so I have it here. Okay, so the direction, let me see how you would put it on your dog.
when you have it, okay? Brownie, come here. Oh, he's shredding. Thank you, Brownie. You're gutting the alligator, dude. Okay, I'm going to use Brownie as example. No, come here.
You think you are?
Yes, I think I am. Okay, I have him here, okay? I'm going to clip, okay? I'm going this way.
Okay, flat, okay, I see.
I'm not going to put it this direction against the grain. I don't want to go this way, okay? I want to clip this way, okay?
Okay.
And when the pattern when I'm clipping, okay, is going to go this way, down the back, and down here, and then I'm going to work down, because the hair grows this way. I'm going the direction the hair grows, okay?
Okay, okay.
So just look the direction the hair grows, and whatever direction the hair grows, point this part, this face, towards it.
Okay.
That's it. It's pretty simple.
Is Andy's a good brand?
Yes, that's what I use.
Okay.
I use the Andis. This is the Andis AGCs. I've had these forever.
Yeah, AGC.
This is the Ultra Edge AGC Super 2-speed.
Yep, that's what I have here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you go to do the clipping of the face, what do you detach this pin thing, or what do you do to?
When I go to clip the face, okay, I'm gonna grab my blade. Okay, see, there's a little metal piece right here,
Yeah.
and there's a little spring that if I pull on that, it works. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this is the facing where the number is, okay. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna hook this right here, and I'm gonna pull up, and it's gonna catch that edge. That's it.
And then, okay, I see it. And then, how do you do it on the face? How?
Same idea. Okay. Once I comb the face out and I'm ready to clip, okay, I'm gonna do the same. Brownie, I have that. What I'm gonna do is I kind of work. I'm gonna comb everything out on the face, okay, and then I'm just gonna go straight over the top of the head with this, okay. I'm gonna go straight over the top of the head, okay.
From front to back.
Yep, front to back, okay. I'm gonna part the hair. Put this up so you can see a little bit. I'm gonna part the hair, okay. Where I find their ears, okay, I'm gonna take their ears, and if I don't want it cut, I'm gonna pull it up in a rubber band on top of their head. Not in the ear leather. Don't catch the skin, okay. The long hair above their ears. I want you to pull it up in a little rubber band up here on either side, like little pigtails, so that way you don't cut it, because it'll be taut and you'll be able to see it, okay?
Okay. And can I, for example, when I want to cut I want to cut her ears, but not cut her ear. So like I touch and I see where the ear ends, and then the little hair that sticks out, I can cut it with a scissors.
Yeah, let me show you how to do it on Brownie, because I do have to do his one ear, because we've been doing him in stages because he's super bitey. So I can show you how to do his ear real quick.
Oh yeah.
Brownie, come here. Come here. Can I have that? You can have this. Thank you. All right. Change this camera angle so you can see. All right.
Okay.
So he's already been brushed. Let me turn around the opposite way, because it's this ear that I'm going to need him on this side. Come here, Ryan. Here. You see? Yes. Okay. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and brush it out again. I've brushed and brushed and brushed, even though, we know he's good. All I'm going to do, I'm going to take my little scissors. Okay?
The brush, sorry, Jodi, the brush that you use,
Mm-hmm.
the brush you use, can you show me the brush?
Well, I just took a slicker brush back over him.
Oh, okay.
Because I've already,
Okay.
while we've been working on this, I've already, used the combs multiple times. I've already went through and dematted. And anytime I'm getting ready to recut a dog, I'm going to go back over him with a slicker brush and make sure that nothing didn't try to mat back up. Okay?
Okay.
Brownie, come here. Come here. Come. You see? All right. And all I'm going to do, can I have this for a second? Can I have it for a second? And then you can have it back, okay? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the ear, okay?
Yeah.
So that it's in my hand. And then I'm going to look at all this hair that's off at the sides, okay? Brian, can you come over here for just a second, just because he's being extra wiggly. He's not normally this wiggly.
Move the camera?
No, I don't need you to move the camera. I need your body to hold him. He's being wiggly. You sit. Good boy. Okay, sit and feed him single treats, one at a time. And all I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to take my slicker and I'm going to go back over. And then I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to kind of run it down the ear so I can feel where the ear's at. And I'm going to put my fingers between the ear and the hair I want cut. And the hair I want cut, I'm going to stick off the end.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to cut it. So that way I don't accidentally get an ear. Okay?
Okay.
It's not, it doesn't have to be perfect because you guys are trying to keep, her from matting. I don't want her to mat. I don't want you guys to deal with a matted dog because that is not fun for you or for her. And all I'm doing here, I'm just going along the edge. I kind of fold the ear, the hair forward on the ear, so that it kind of lays in front of the ear. I comb it straight forward.
Okay.
Brownie.
Brownie.
Brownie, hey, leave it, dude. You're giving him hair. That's why he doesn't want what you have. You're offering him dog hair. I wouldn't want dog hair either. And all you're going to do is just trim along that edge. I kind of round it out a little bit so that way it gets a little bit of puff. Because his one ear is longer than the other because he was done last time we did sessions. You got to keep machine gunning it into his mouth. You can't just, thank you. And you can tell this is one of those, it's not super easy to do this. There's a reason groomers are paid very well. Because you have to be faster than the dog. And you have to work on a moving target half the time. This is one of those things I do not miss having to do.
This is why I stay behind the camera.
Jodi, can you also show me how you would, in which direction you would comb the head so that you can trim her face?
I'm going to show you how to do the face real quick. See, I scissor all of this part right here. I scissor this, all of this up here. Okay.
Okay.
The part up here, I take a comb, I brush them both ways so that they're comfortable because I want. I go this way, and then I bring my brush back and I bring it this way, so I can puff it up a little bit, and it'll sit. I let the dog resettle, and then that's it.
From back to front.
Yep, I go from back to front first, okay?
Okay.
Good boy.
I see.
I mean, it's not super important as to form as it is to how much you're able to get done. If you don't get a ton done, don't worry about it. If you want to just, be simple, super simple and just keep mats out and just trim up around the face, you're good. It's not, nobody's going to care. Everybody's more worried about everybody staying safe. It's just.
And about the area, the chest, do you go down on the chest?
I go from, when I am doing chest, I go from here this way, okay? I go down, okay?
Go down. Okay. And the area, the anal area, how do you work that?
Scissors.
Scissors. Okay.
If I don't want somebody sticking something near my area, I know the dog doesn't want it. I do scissors.
Yeah. Scissors. Okay. Do you also do like the when you were showing me how you go down the legs with a clipper? Do you
every 2 to 3 minutes to stop and spray this on. I mean, every 2 to 3 minutes, I take this off, I open it up, I spray this off, I spray out my blade, I clean it out really well, and then let it cool off for a second because this is alcohol, okay, right here. And then I put my blade back on because I want to keep my clipper cool, okay?
But isn't that the blade?
This is the blade. This is the guide comb. I pop the guide comb off and then I clean it.
For the legs, you use the guide comb.
No, the inside of the legs, I use this.
For the inside of the leg.
Inside of back legs. Inside of back legs only, okay? And along the belly and the inside of the back legs, I am going to use this. For the rest of the body and the legs, I'm going to use a comb. Start out with a bigger comb. The bigger the height here, okay, the longer the haircut is, okay? See, this is longer hair. This is shorter hair.
I'm not clear, Tom. So can you say it so that we can make sure that you understand?
Okay, so what I'm seeing is, let's see, you have two different guide combs there.
Yes.
Okay, and one is the number 1 that's a half inch.
Mhm.
Okay, and the other is.
This one's a number. This is a number 7. Okay.
Okay.
If you look at the guide comb, okay, you see how tall these are.
Yeah.
That's long hair. This is the number 7. You see how short those are?
Yeah.
The height difference.
Okay. Right.
That is how you can always start with a longer hair one and go shorter.
Right.
Okay?
Okay, and so the number 7 is for inside the legs and the tummy?
Yep.
Okay.
Or you can go bare
Without a comb at all.
without a comb at all.
So what else? Then inside of the legs, the tummy, what else?
That's it for bare. If you want to shave them completely,
No.
just go with a flat.
So for me, let me just ask this. When we talked about beginning, on the, how do you call this part, Tom? Not the shoulder, the back, on the back of the dog, on the back of Diva. Did you say that we were not supposed to use a guide comb?
You don't have to. It's the idea is, honestly, it would be less, just the amount of stress that is going on, and as hard as this is going to be for her, you being unexperienced, I would look at keeping her body clipped with a number 10, okay? Just this.
Yeah.
Do the guide comb on the legs and the face, okay?
Okay, got it.
Because that way it's less stressful for her, less stressful for you, okay?
Okay. And so about stress, I wanted to ask you this question. Do you think it would make sense to, for example, do all the things we have to do, comb and everything, and later one day, and then perhaps 2 days later do the clipping?
No.
Or should we do it all together?
Do it all together because you're going to have to, before you ever touch a comb, touch a pair of clippers to her, you have to have her combed.
Yeah.
Like immediately before, because any mats in her fur are going to be, caught in this and it's going to hurt her.
Okay. All right. So, and did you say that you would do the whole grooming, the whole clipping and everything in the bathtub?
I do everything in my bathtub usually, or my bathroom, because it's easier to clean up because the hair gets everywhere.
Okay. But it hasn't arrived yet, but we have bought a grooming table.
Yeah, grooming tables are ideal. I set one up in my bathroom. I literally will blow dry a dog out, get them all cleaned up, and then set the grooming tub up in the table or beside the tub.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's much easier for me to, honestly, I will sit on a toilet seat if I'm in a small bathroom and put a grooming table in front of me, and then that way I can sit there, adjust the grooming table, clip them, and it's much easier, and I can just throw the hair right straight into the trash can beside me as I'm clipping.
So it was in the trash can where you're clipping. Okay. I see what you're saying. Oh my God, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's okay.
Well, we'll do our really my best, Diva. Now, on a good note, for the first time that we were walking out with her, she peed on the grass. So we were quite proud of her.
Good!
On the grass. One time. And she's walking a lot. She's happy to walk. So that's really good too.
Well, I'm glad she's finally, because oh, something, nail clipping, while I'm thinking of it, okay?
Yeah.
I want you guys to look at one of these.
What's that?
That's the grinder.
This is a grinder, okay?
That's
When,
pretty good.
this is a grinder. When you guys look at that, I want you to look, this is a diamond Dremel tip. It's a diamond grinder tip. It will prevent you from hurting your dog, okay?
Okay.
When you do their feet, you have to shave the feet and the bottoms of the feet. Use scissors, get as close as you can. Don't cut the hair down between the pads, okay? You want to cut level, okay?